What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big Boy Talk. And I am here earlier than normal, right? I said I was going to try to be here for 8. I got here at 8. It looked like Smackdown is starting off with some fire. All right, what's going on here? We got somebody banging on the back area. Somebody just got carried away in the ambulance. I didn't even catch who it was. Couldn't even catch who it was. SmackDown is starting off lit as always. This is the main show nowadays. Raw doesn't hold a candle to it, especially with the injuries they have over there with the Vision. Hopefully those dudes get better soon and they can do something to carry a storyline. Oh, here's Drew McIntyre coming down to the ring. So for those of you, sorry about that, I had to go take care of something. For those of you who've been keeping track of the NFL Combine, we have had an outstanding showing from the defenses to start. I mean, all three levels have put up the fastest times in NFL history. So it just goes to show, like we always say, the athletes are getting bigger and better every year. How you doing, sir?
I'm all right, just feeding the world's biggest ASPCA commercial.
Okay.
You know, Mister Eat better than most humans, but every time you got a piece of food that you don't get in the arms of an angel come playing from out the background with trumpets and whatnot. Y'all's favorite nephew.
Mr. Jada Six is in the building. What's good, sir? Uh, you better make sure you get on this side of the screen because we got a lot of combine to talk about, buddy. And them tight ends, they're
Pause.
showing up and showing out right along with the DBs.
Yesterday was zombie cheeks. Today we leading off with tight ends. Oh Lord.
Zombie cheeks, zombie cheeks. Listen, I'm not gonna bring up. I gotta check and see how that video is doing. By the way, he dropped it, right?
I
Gotta
didn't
see how
I
the
didn't get a
video.
notification for it,
I didn't
but
get a
it still
notification either, so I gotta see.
it still might be triple platinum already.
Respect. You be safe. Get home safe. Right
And
now, I'm
I feel
watching
like
SmackDown. We got. Go ahead.
he holding out on the people, not giving them what they want. It's provocative, gets the people going.
Oh man, those what Jay Z and who else was on that track?
You talking about Jay-Z and Kanye?
Yeah.
What's up, Chris?
So what's up, Chris? You drop it tomorrow. Of course, that's perfect. Drop it on my birthday. I'll be waiting to watch it. So, B, I gotta, Likely's pretty much gone for Baltimore, right? I just want to
Said
run some
what?
numbers by you, real. Isaiah Likely, pretty much going from Baltimore. I just want to run these numbers by you real quick from the combine. Okay, Kenyan Sadiq, 11-foot 1 inch broad jump, 43.5 vertical jump, and a 4.4 40-yard dash. Thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I'll be maxing, relaxing. You know what I'm saying? Doing my thing on the B day, chilling, rested, not doing nothing.
You are special.
Mr. Whoop that.
Yeah.
But you hear those numbers on the tight end. You hear those numbers for a tight end. And what like has your first round pick target changed? Or are you
Nope.
praying for a guy like that to fall to the second round?
None of it's going to change because with that position, you can't estimate what's going to happen. Numbers are not. You got to realize Hayden Hurst had better numbers than Andrews, and Andrews had a better career. Because if Andrews had the numbers that Hayden Hurst had at the combine, he wouldn't have been there when we went to select him.
Yeah, I first off, salute Zeke.
Hokage.
Yes, the numbers can cause a guy to get drafted earlier. Numbers make it harder to get a guy that you would like on your team. But I think Kenny Sadiq can make it to us because you still had Eli Stowers out there, who I didn't even hit you with his numbers. Okay, you were in a 4.5 140. Okay, 45.5 inch vertical. Broke the record. Broke the combine record for vertical. And an 11-foot 3 inch broad jump. The man is the definition of explosion. To me, if you have a chance to get Lamar one of these two weapons, you get him. Because Mark Andrews isn't the guy. Now, if you're telling me you're going to re-sign Likely, then by all means, that's perfectly fine. You can pass on these guys, right? But these guys both show the will and the fire to block. The explosiveness was seen on tape. You can see it on tape. And it's crazy because even knowing they were that explosive, I still didn't expect 11-foot 3, 11-foot 1 broad jumps. I expect, mid to upper 10s, yes, especially at their size. But, I mean, if you're telling me you're going to give my quarterback that weapon, then give my quarterback that weapon. I love it.
It depends on if you get some protection in free agency, and then you can worry. Then you can decide, okay, I don't need a guard in the first round. Maybe I get a guard in the second or third round. But if you don't get that line straight in free agency, or at least part of the equation in free agency, then that weapon ain't going to do you nothing.
No, I understand that, right? But it's looking like this draft is looking like a first round guard is pretty much can be equivalent to a second round guard. I'd love to be able to draft a top guard or top lineman in the first and then get one of these guys in the second. Stowers is not going to make it to the second. Sadiq is probably not going to make it to the second. Tenacozio, late round pick. He ran a 4.71. He's 6'7", but he's not got those freakish athletic skills.
Who's the QB throwing this? Who's the QB throwing this drill? Because he has been throwing it behind people. Like every tight end has had to slow down.
That's actually a coach throwing to them. They don't actually.
Y'all need to do
so,
something. The whole point of
Yeah,
this drill is to
until
over the shoulder,
the
and it's
quarterback.
been like, okay, on your back hip has been every throw for the most part.
Give me 1 second.
I think you put it out there for them to run under it. Sheesh. Like I'm not finding out no information about most of these guys. It's barely over the shoulder or is on their back hip. This is absolutely terrible. But I mean, all these stats that these guys have as far as speed can be used. But rushing in the first 2 rounds, if you don't have those guards lined up, I don't see
Yeah, but nowadays, right? And I'm not saying we don't need the guards. Yes, we need the guards. But the way these guys are performing now on defense, you need to get those weapons as you can too. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of there was a point where getting a guard or a tight end in the first round, especially high in the first round, was highly frowned upon. Now you see the explosion and athleticism of defensive line, the linebackers. So you need those guards. I personally think your approach should be sign whatever guards you can, right? The top guards in the free agency, and then you draft weapons early and draft guards, say second, third round, if you can. Again, if you can,
that would be the best course of action. But
because I'd
I
like
don't
to go with
trust
veterans.
EDC. I feel like EDC is going to draft. He's going to sign a guard that is good in free agency. Yeah. And then the next one's going to be a developmental signing instead of him signing. Like, he should be getting the best he can in free agency. I always felt like the draft should be before free agency. So you can draft who you want, and then you can fill in your roster with the free agents. But, you know, when we have the free agency before, EDC is going to just get enough, and then he's like, I'm going to draft the rest. And then when guys, you know, somebody moves up to draft the guy that we wanted, it's just like, oh, okay, I'm just going to sign some last day free agents to, you know, try and get by. Which, if the free agency's first, you should be trying to do everything you can in free agency, and then draft the best you can at the first 2 rounds, and then draft the best guys you can develop in rounds 3, 4, and 5. I don't keep 6 and 7. Trade 6 and 7 to move up to get another 3rd or 4th or 5th rounder.
In a draft like this, no, so normally I would agree with you. In a draft like this, if you could keep a few later round picks, we don't need all our picks. Keep a few, because this is one of those drafts that I think has better deep talent than previous drafts. Like I feel like the wide receiver class is a pretty steady wide receiver class that can give you, even in the 5th, 6th round, give you a possible 3 or 4 wide receiver. You know what I mean? So if you keep
I'm
some
not
of the
saying
late round picks, I would keep some of them. But yeah, I get I get what you're saying. I'm just saying, like,
how many
when
6 and
he
7
trade,
round picks do we have?
I'm not sure. I know we're loaded with a buttload of 4th and 5ths.
I'm just talking about trade the 6th and
You know.
7th round picks to move up to get more 3rd, 4th round picks.
And I'm okay with that too. I'm okay with that too.
Because we're projected to have 4 additional 5th to 7th round picks with the compensatory. So that them 7th round
I
picks,
didn't even think about those. I wasn't even calculating those.
Right. Move up
You're
to the 6th round
right.
and get something else. So, like,
Yeah.
if it round 6 and 7, EDC's hit on 1 out of like 75 of those so far. Take those and move up and get one of these, quote unquote later round guys that are higher later round guys instead of pick number 232 and 231.
I agree
get pick
with that.
200. So we have 11 total, including 4 potential compensation picks. So we have 7.
See, that's where me wanting them to use some of those picks to bring in veterans comes in as well, right? To me, what they could have did was they could have signed Likely, and then they could have traded Mark to gather more of those third and fourth round picks. You know what I'm saying? I think Mark, you could get a third round pick for Mark.
Probably get a third and a
I
fourth.
think you get a third. Yeah. So if you trade Mark, especially if you're able to grab one of these tight ends, you go ahead and trade Mark away. You get an extra third, fourth round pick, bring in more talent. I mean, you're looking at stacking a pretty good roster to start the year out, especially if you sign those top veteran guards that's in free agency.
Yeah, like Chris said, she don't want to use all of those picks again. But if he's BSing in free agency because he thinks he has 11 picks and he can, hey, I can sign 4 guys in free agency and then I can fill out the rest of the roster with cheaper rookie talent, which is the way he thinks. Every dollar counts. That's what I'm worried about. He's going to go free agency, get 2 or 3 top guys, get a bunch of cheap guys, and then be like, hey, for $15 more million, I can fill up the rest of the roster with these 11 picks that I have.
Yeah. And it's not a I don't want to say it's not a terrible way. I don't want to say it's not bad. It's not a terrible way of thinking, but it's better when you feel the important and immediate holes.
Who was that huge guy that they were just comparing to Darnell Washington? Because that dude was a big dude.
I didn't catch it. I was not looking at the time. I was not looking.
I just looked up.
There's some big tight ends in this draft.
It's a leisurely walk.
Yeah, there's some big tight ends in this draft, man. One of them is, like I told you, Tanner Caziol, I think his name is 6'7". He's absolutely monsters, and then ran a 4.71. So he can move for that size. You know what I mean? There's some big dudes.
Why is he
small dudes running these times?
15 is just jogging through this exercise. You're supposed to catch, turn, and run. He's literally just like, hey, go ahead, toss it. Okay, I'm ready. And like, bro, they want to see you be able to do this, get down the line, and can you make a full speed run? Like number 1 is he's actually running. Number 15, he was literally just taking a jog. Like my nephew probably could have kept up with him on that one.
Yeah, some of these dudes are too. They struggle to do these drills naturally, and that's where you see a lot of that at.
No, it's just running down the line, but like he was literally just taking a leisurely jog. Like this was, him playing with his nephews in the backyard. Like everybody else has been, you could tell they're running.
Some of these dudes might just be flat out slow. Most of these dudes ran, the ones that ran the 40, they were all roughly in the 4.6s, with the exception of, a few here and there.
Oh, Jack injuries.
You had your one breakout. But
for some reason, this guy kept popping up when I did my my little fantasy draft for this year. I don't know why every time
he moves very swift for a guy his size. That dude that just for instance here, just for so you get a comparison of size here. Dude's a tight end, 6'3.5", I think he is, and that explosive, and then ran a 4.4. That's why I say Lamar needs those weapons, because we don't have a big body receiver. So if you could take a tight end and make him that explosive and be able to line him up out wide and still be able to run past those fast corners, the average cornerback speed for the 40-yard dash today, or the average defensive back, that's safeties and corners, ran a 4.4. that means these little speed receivers, these corners are running right with it with no problem. And they're like 6
Right.
feet
Some of
and
these
up
corners
for the
are
most
way
part.
bigger than them too.
Exactly. So you need big guys like these tight ends. And you need some of these bigger receivers come out here and be able to body these guys weight wise because they're still standing 6'1", 6'2", 6'3" at corner and safety, putting up these crazy
With
times.
wingspan.
With crazy athleticism. So I don't know, man. I'm just saying it's going to be a fun season. I'm excited. Again, I'll repeat: the defensive line, linebackers, and defensive backs all ran the fastest 40 times of any draft class in history. So as far as their, the defense goes at each level.
And the guy who was on the blocking sled was the tight end for NC State. I think that's the guy who they were comparing to Darnell Washington.
Yeah, man, these tight ends, man, they can ball. These tight ends can ball. But it's again scheme fit. This is one of Jay's picks right here that he wanted to see. It's about scheme fit. It's about fluidity in the hips. Are you loose? Can you move, make plays? Some of these guys are a little stiff, which can cause problems with route running and being able to get separation. But for the guys that aren't, some of these smaller DBs or smaller linebackers are going to have a problem on their hands. Not including, Sonny Styles or his brother Lorenzo Styles, because they're just freakish athletes. Sonny Styles, freaking, what is he, 6'5", 240, and ran a 4.47 or something like that in the 40 at linebacker. And then his brother comes out as a DB and at 6 feet tall and runs a 4.27, fastest 40 time for any DB, any safety, I believe specifically in combine history. Outrageous.
I think now the tight ends that the guys who are tight ends now are guys who, yes, they're probably bigger receivers that they realize, hey, this guy is big enough to get away with playing the tight end position, even though he probably has receiver qualities. Instead of it used to be, hey, you're a good pass catcher, you're good enough in route running, but you're just lumbersome, so we're going to put you at tight end like they did with Mark Andrews. Now your tight end is basically just a guy who was a receiver who they were like, hey, add 20 pounds and hit the weight room and we'll just put you against one of these linebackers or one of these, safeties. And you can have the middle of the field to play with.
Yeah, the problem is now that don't even work the same because the athletes we got in the middle of the field now. At linebacker and safety. I mean, these dudes are weapons.
8 years ago when they were in high school and put at tight end, it would have been an advantage. A lot of these guys would probably switch from wide receiver to tight end from, somewhere freshman to junior year of high school.
Zeke said Ravens need to build up that O line and get weapons. We all agree on that. We all agree on that. Jay said we only have one tight end of the contract. This is true. And that one happens to be the one we should have got rid of. We know who to blame for that.
If we would have kept Likely and drafted Jolly, I'd have been happy with that.
Listen, if we kept Likely, signed Kolar, and drafted it, any one of these tight ends, I'd be happy.
Right, just let Mark go about his business or lack thereof.
See, even this tight end out of Notre Dame. Notre Dame produces tight ends. That's just what they do. Notre Dame, Stanford, they produce tight ends. These dudes look fluid. They look natural catching the ball.
You know, a name would be nice, or at least what number they're wearing.
I just
'Cause
said
I don't know
Notre
if my
Dame and
stream.
Stanford.
I don't
I
know if
gave you a school.
my stream is in front of or behind your stream. I don't know if your stream's before or behind or after mine.
Okay, so one of them was his last name was Bauer. I believe that was the Notre Dame tight end. But that's the reason I gave you a school. Because the schools are that's the
Yeah,
first
when
thing
you
that pops
when you
up.
said it, I still haven't seen the Notre Dame guy, so I don't know how far behind. Right now, I'm at RJ Maryland out of SMU.
Dang, you way behind me.
Right.
Way behind me. Okay, gotcha. Well, coming up, you're gonna see they do a simulcast of Kenyon Sadiq, Bijan Robinson, and Christian McCaffrey's 40-yard times. And Kenyon Sadiq's official 40-yard time was 4.39 at tight end.
There's a black guy
Jay.
named Nowakowski.
Yes. He didn't run the 40, unfortunately.
Now I see Raridon from Notre Dame.
Yep. Watch how fluid he is with catching the ball, turning. It just looks natural to him. You see what I'm saying? Notre Dame is great for tight ends. Yes, Jay. I see the eyeballs. Yes, Jay. His official time 4.39. Breaking the all-time record for a 40-yard dash by a tight end. It was good, Osman. Hey, as y'all come in, make sure y'all hit that thumbs up so YouTube knows to push this stream out so we can continue to grow the family. Also, while I got y'all attention, I have reopened the store. The link is in the description. If you want to get you some Big Boy Talk merch, any merch that I got on there, go check it out. You know, it's just starting. I'll be adding more stuff over time, but check out what we got. It's some heat up there. It's some heat. I can't help but even after watching the interior players and seeing the old line, and I can't help but watching this guy. These two specifically, I need one of these tight ends. Pause. I need one of these guys as a receiver for the Baltimore Ravens. Tomorrow is going to be very much exciting. We get the quarterbacks, the running backs, and the wide receivers.
Where the money
also it's my birthday.
He's made.
So out there again. And yeah, like you said, where the money is made, man. We're gonna see if these receivers can run with the defensive backs, because the defensive backs can run. The defensive backs can run. So we're gonna see if the wide receivers can too. And Kenyon just laid down in the gauntlet too. He's like, yo, 4.39. Wide receivers, y'all better come out and put up a shut up tomorrow.
They got him drafted to go to was it 28 to San Francisco after today? He might go 12 to whoever.
Hey, he come 14 to Baltimore.
I mean, I might not complain about that. That means that would keep Mark off the field.
That's what I'm saying. I would listen. I wouldn't mind it. 11-1 broad jump.
I wouldn't mind us drafting 3 offensive
43.5-inch
in the first 3 rounds. I just need EDC to do his job at free agent.
The dude's explosive. And there's no way two tight ends are going in the top 10. So we got a chance to
All
get
is
him
well.
or Stowers. We got a chance to get him or Stowers. There's a chance. And Stowers has been impressive too. 45.5-inch vert, 11'3" broad jump, 4'5", 140. These dudes are impressive. They're freakish athletes. Especially at their sizes. You know what I'm saying?
Share and subscribe. Appreciate the support. Coach, how's everything going?
Hey, you're back feeding into the stream. I can hear you.
No, that was because Jared just went live, so I had to make sure I turn my phone on, Phil.
Word, thanks for telling me. For those who don't know, the homie Jared 11 Green. Jared all 11 Green. Y'all got to go show my boy some love. He going live now. Go in, tap in real quick, and come on back. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of, I got to do the same thing. Like Zone Podcast. It's another one. Show my homies some love over there. Love you too, honey.
What if we say no?
Hey, Sister
It's always got to be somebody
Abigail.
who fights against everything.
I'm gonna be a YouTuber like you. I'm gonna be a YouTuber like you.
Okay.
Uncle Howdy with the Sister Abigail and the big dub over Solo Sikoa on SmackDown. And he's got his lantern back. Oh, had it back. Damn. Where y'all come from?
You ain't gonna do nothing, Chris. I'm a thug.
But he
And you do
wanted
something to
that.
me, your nephew don't eat.
Dang, my boy fought hard, got the dub, got the lantern back, and got snuck by Tonga. And they stole the lantern again.
That's bad.
Very bad.
Got them things. Gotta go.
I ate my apple, Dad.
Oh man. I do want to
So,
know. Are you gonna you need to interview Osmond because I need to know how this man's been married since before I was born.
that sounds like something for your channel too. Don't just say I need to interview. That sounds like listen, your channel covers stuff like this specifically.
You're more refined.
What do you mean I'm more refined? Listen, that doesn't matter. Your channel covers stuff like this specifically. It's the perfect live for you.
That was years ago, back in my heyday.
No, you talk about stuff like this all the time.
You know, if you younger people would listen to your elders,
They want it down
Listen.
down like this.
I'm listening. You like how I use that?
Sorry, I had to do something real quick.
Yeah,
yeah,
is that
you,
Loki my friend? I'm listening.
yeah,
I was
Osmond,
born in April of
Osmond,
'86.
you've been married since before I was born too. Yeah, both of
So
us.
I'm 39. So you've been married 45 years.
God bless you. That's amazing. It really is. It really, really is. Like
Oh
many people
Lord.
will give any and everything to have that.
Man, George Pickens got tagged like I thought. Oh, the Broncos tendered McMillan, so that means it's possible instead of drafting a corner, we could just hire one that we already know what he's good at. The Commanders are releasing their center. I don't know. It's like some things have happened to make our free agents more valuable than they were at the end of the season, and some things are happening to make them not as valuable as they were the couple days before.
46 years as next month. That's a beautiful thing. It really is.
Oh yeah, I turned
So
40
B,
this year, so yeah, it is 46.
so B, let me ask you. You've
Oh
been,
Lord.
peeking in on the combine. I know you said, depending on what EDC does, is gonna decide if you get back into college football. But coming into tomorrow, is there any running backs that you would risk it for, or do you? Better yet, if you wait and watch tomorrow and you see a running back jump off the board, are you willing to take that risk, take that shot on a running back?
No, it's a lot of moving pieces at running back that we could kind of work with as far as between free agents and even the draft class next year. That I mean, I think we have three good running backs that are coming back this year. So you have Henry, you have I don't know why I keep forgetting his name. You have Justice Hill, and you have Keaton. Even if one of them
Yeah,
gets injured,
Ali is coming back as well.
yeah, even if one of them gets injured, I was gonna say you have Ali, and you could still get a 6 round running back and just stash him on a practice squad, or just get a running back from one of the guys who get cut.
Yes, this is supposed to be a pretty decent run back class again. But not as good as last year's class, I don't think. For me, I think it's more of a top heavy running back class, but we'll see tomorrow. Um, but for me, there was really a few guys at the top on the grab, like late first, early second, maybe even third. Um, if you're a team looking for a running back, not saying if you're the Ravens, if you're a team looking for a running back, I agree. I wouldn't grab a running back in the first. Um, to answer Osmond's question, I'd go as early as second, depending on who the running back is, and what they can provide, and depending on if we're moving on from some of the guys we have. Like if you're telling me we're going to trade Derrick Henry, which I know y'all don't agree, but I vote we do. Uh, then I'd take a running back early. Fifth round, yeah, I'd take a fifth rounder. Why not? Right? Fifth rounder come in, they can end up on the practice squad. But these days, do you want a fifth rounder to be able to come in and play though? With the way the NFL is now, and youth and speed and all the athleticism making such a difference, and that athleticism getting deeper and deeper into the draft, is your fifth rounder more important than it was, say, 10 years ago? And Jonah Coleman. There you go.
It
So Jay,
depends on how
Jay know.
right. It depends on how that offense runs. Really, I mean, the way the offense is set up, because you still are talking about a running back that's sitting next to Lamar Jackson. Like Jahmyr Gibbs is Jahmyr Gibbs in Detroit. But if he was next to Lamar Jackson, Jahmyr Gibbs would probably, you might as well rename him Barry Sanders, because he's going to kill him. They'd be like Barry Sanders with the 1994 Dallas Cowboys offensive line.
Yeah, no, I just got a picture of that, and that's just unfair.
It's inhumane. It's two inhumans.
I agree, Osman. A good old line is a must. Again, when I put out these scenarios, this is with the Ravens going out into free agency and getting the best two guards they can get. This is them blowing money. I believe I saw somewhere we had 19 million in cap space or something like that.
Before restructures.
Yeah, before restructures. So with the way these guys restructure things and move money around and, post June 1st cut or pre June 1st cuts and post June 1st cuts, whatever one ends up giving you more money, these guys can go out and finagle things and build a tremendous team for this year. If you hit the right spots, because we know it's deep on the defensive line in the draft, it's pretty deep at linebacker, edge rusher is pretty good. So knowing that, you can go out here and go, let's go buy these offensive line. Let's get these offensive linemen, and then we'll get some rookies later in the draft to develop underneath the veterans, and we'll stack up our offense. We'll get us another wide receiver in the draft. We'll go get, because Pickens. My one wide receiver I would have wanted in the draft and free agency is Pickens. Well, the Cowboys already franchise tagged him, so that's not going to happen. So now you go, let's go get a young, healthy, talented wide receiver. Especially if you're smart with that money, you go build that offensive line in free agency. Now you can go round one tight end. You can go round two wide receiver. You go round three guard. Round four guard. Round five tackle. You know what I'm saying? Or next round four tackle. So that's how I would like the draft to go. To me, that would be perfect.
So your names, as far as I'm concerned, and I'll give you probably 6 or 7. Isaac Suamalo from Pittsburgh, Aliyah Vera Tucker, Joe Batonio, Wyatt Teller. They say Dylan Parham, but Dalton Reisner would probably be my number 6. Any one of them 6 guys be good. You still have Kevin Zeitler. John Simpson would be decent. So there's almost 8 or 9 guards that if you got one of those guys, I would be fine with not drafting a guy this year.
Yeah, that's exactly my point. You know what I mean? Even what's the cat that just left or supposed to be leaving from the Browns?
Now, the problem I will have is if we get John Simpson back, we wouldn't have had to deal with Falele in the first place if you'd have kept him.
Meg the Simpson?
Yep. If you re-signed Meg the Simpson, we wouldn't have had to suffer through Falele in the first place.
Here's the thing. Here's what's crazy. It's not like Meg the Simpson played well, but he played great compared to Falele. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a bad comparison. Like, yes, if we'd kept Meg the Simpson, he would have did significantly better. But
it's the thing, we had Meg the Simpson and Kevin Zeitler, and it's like we re-signed them. It's like, bro, we're idiots. Like we literally just spun the block for no reason.
Yeah. That's because, you know what it is? Is again,
you're good.
They thought Meg the Simpson didn't play great. So they thought, oh, well, these young guys have got to be better.
You're okay.
At least that's what John Harbaugh thought. He's like, come on now. Meg the Simpson didn't play well, so these Lele got to be better.
But
They called that
wasn't
man
he still
Fart
on
Lele.
wasn't he still on his rookie contract?
Who Lele?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean Meg the Simpson. Wasn't he still on his rookie contract?
No,
when he
Meg the
left?
Simpson
Like,
been in a no. He's an older veteran. He's been in the league for some time. Remember, Meg the Simpson came over from who he played for before? I think it was the Jets. I think we got him from the Jets in the first place. And then he went
28.
back.
He can't have been in the league that damn long.
He's been in the
He
league
was
for a
drafted
while.
in 2020.
That's a while in this league. Was he a late round pick? Though?
That's 5 years. I'm saying that's 5 years. So he's basically off his rookie contract. Like if you took a 5th-year option, that's his rookie contract. When we let him go, he had to have still been on his rookie contract. That was right after his rookie contract, wasn't it?
Not if you got cut. Because if you got cut, you're getting picked up for a vet minimum. And that's what we got him for. We got him for a vet minimum. Because he was cut. He was a free agent when we signed him.
Well, Lele's never should have made the team. So
I agree.
I would still say
I agree. I don't disagree with that at all. I don't understand how he. Actually, I do. We all do.
So he was with
Las
Vegas for 3 years, and then we had him for 1 year, and then we.
That's what it was. Vegas. Yeah, it was Vegas. Yeah.
And he didn't start that many games. He didn't start that many games for Vegas, as far as I can tell.
But they knew how bad he was. It was like, now you could go. And we still looked and said, yeah, this is it. This is the guy right here.
When he played for Vegas, he played 2 games in 2020, 17 and 21, and 2 games in 2022. So he was 20 games in, and we had him for 1 year, then we gave up on him. But the year with us and the 2 years with the Jets, he didn't miss a single game.
Yeah, he's still a free agent. That should tell you what you need to know. Didn't miss a single game, but he's still a free agent. Now this is the second set of DBs that's going here. I don't know if are you still watching the combine?
Yeah, I'm still watching.
They're still putting up impressive numbers. And right now, Everett's going from safety for Georgia. He's one of those dudes. It's going to be interesting to see what he puts up for 40 time because he was a great playmaker for Georgia for his entire time in college. Everett's a dog. It hits you in the mouth. He tends to find himself around the ball. He's not a guy we need because we don't need a safety. But improve upon that draft stock. I found myself this year trying not to pay attention too much to like the defensive backs. I watched a lot of the corners because we do need corners since they didn't keep Caillou Kelly. So I watched a good amount of the corners, but I've really tried to, and I watched the linebackers, but I've really tried to ignore kind of the safeties. But it's hard because they're just athletes. 4.38 forever. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Jay's gonna like that one. Jay is gonna like that one. Jay is gonna like that one.
Falele was
Jesus.
not just bad because of the O-line coaching. He was also bad because he could not. His spatial awareness was terrible. Like he just didn't know what to
Oh
do.
yeah.
Like he just didn't know what to do with himself. He wasn't one of those guys that found work. Like if somebody lined up in front of him and they dropped back, Falele didn't look to the tackle and help the tackler, or look to his left and help out, help out Linderbaum with the zero technique that lined up right in front of him. He kind of just looked around like, oh, I don't have to do anything this play. Okay, cool. And he sat down and played in the Saints.
And so many times we look over at Falele's blocking air. He's playing patty cake by himself. And it was
Right, where he's got his arms out
frustrating.
next to him, and he got it arm out next to him, just looking around like there's nobody for me to touch. And Linderbaum's over there fighting with his life with a 380-pound lineman, and we're just like, your man need help.
Go touch somebody. Pause. That sounds crazy, but do something. You know what I'm saying? Go hurt somebody. Block somebody. Dude, he looked like he ran. Sorry, TJ Hall just ran a 4.59. He looked like he was running a lot faster than that. But Falele did a great job of doing nothing. A terrible job of being a good player. You know what I'm saying? He failed on so many different facets, so many different levels. That is kind of outrageous.
He felt with even effort, and like that's like if he had given the effort in a lot of situations, we would still be like, okay, there's something you could work on here.
Yeah. Well, more was that according to numbers, Voorhees was even worse.
Oh yeah, he was, but Voorhees would get beat on blocks, but he would actually put a handle on somebody. He would see Linderbaum over there struggling and actually try to go help.
Yeah.
Falele got what he got because it was just like you're the biggest guy on the joint and you're on the ground, or there's a big pile up and you're the only one who doesn't have their hand on somebody. You shouldn't be that big and have the cleanest jersey in the game.
4.45 from the Texas safety, by the way. Hood. That boy was running. Texas or Tennessee, I didn't even catch it. I forgot what team he played for. But 4.45. And a 4.46 from Davidson on Ohio State. These Ohio State boys is running. They are running, okay? Running.
So Davidson Igbinosun is one of the guys that Jay was like needs to play for the Ravens.
We don't need no more safeties, though. That's the problem.
He said it's a guy we should draft late, not early. Like one of the fifth or sixth round comp picks that we're gonna get.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he's around that late. I'd be surprised if he's around that late because Ohio State's defense they were stacked, and a lot of those guys are going to go early. Yeah. He's probably more of a third round guy.
I think we have two free agent safeties this year, so we might not re-sign either one of them.
Our safeties are fine. We're fine at safety. One of those free agents, I believe, is Darius Washington. I'd love for him to come back, but I think we're good at safety. The crazy thing is, you look at these 40 times that these guys are putting out, and then you look at guys like Kyle Hamilton and Malachi Starks. You go, oh, we got athletes though. These guys are, ballers. Kyle ran a 4.59, and Malachi ran a 4.51. I think it was. It goes to show that as long as you know what you're doing on the field with the pads on, your 40 time, won't make a difference. If I'm not mistaken, Ed Reed ran a 4.57 on his 40. But on the field, he looked like a 4.2 flat.
Yeah, the same thing about Jerry Rice. He ran a terrible time, but you ain't never see nobody besides Darryl Green chase him down.
Facts. Some guys are just better long distance striders than they are, burst runners. Some of these guys can run in bursts, and they get gassed and can't catch you, or they start to slow down. While other guys are striders. Like, look at a DK Metcalf. That dude is a strider with speed. He will. I mean, we see what happened when he hawked down that DB that got that pick against them that time when he was in Seattle. He hawked boy down. Yo, it was crazy. And that's just a different type of speed, different type of ability right there.
Some are uncoachable and some are uncontrollable. I'd rather have the
Monty
uncontrollable.
Jackson runs a 4.42 this time around, so he'll probably stick with the 4.41. I can't wait to see this because this is currently the second group of DBs of safeties. I can't wait to see this next group of tight ends. I'm hoping Michael Trigg is in this next group because he's another tight end that looks very intriguing. And if he comes out and he shows that explosiveness on the field today, and he confirms what's on tape, because that's what I use the combine for, right? I use the combine to confirm what I see on tape. So if he come out and confirm that, that'd be nice.
I think what we need to do to make certain people happy, especially guys like John Harbaugh, we need to have a special teamers combine.
Oh gosh, I wouldn't mind seeing kickers work out. I wouldn't mind seeing kickers and punters work out. To be honest with you,
yeah, you got
working
kickers,
on a corner
you gotta
punts.
have the special team coverage guys, the guys who are probably going to make the NFL as gunners.
Yeah, I don't need to see all that. You're getting that when you see the receivers and the DBs. But to see the kickers.
Oh,
and punters,
this is John Harbaugh's special combine.
I don't know who that is. You keep bringing up that name. I have no idea who that man is. But I wouldn't mind seeing punters and kickers though. Show me as a kicker. Show me the strength of that leg on an NFL field. It's a controlled environment, but still, show me the strength of the leg. Show me the accuracy. Let's see what you really got as a punter.
We need those
Madden corner punt. Yeah. As a punter, show me you can put that thing at the 1 and out of bounds.
Right. You get the hang time that's necessary for somebody to get down there and cover
it. Exactly. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Because whether people like it or not, it's part of the game. Hezekiah Bassis improves his time dramatically from a 4.56 to a 4.46. That man must have turned the juices on for the second run.
I was looking at that, and I'm like, if you look at some of these guys, their first and second time is within like 0.2, 0.3. I trust those guys' times more than the guy who ran a 4.6. Now he's a 4.4. And some of these guys, they're running 4.5 or 4.38 or whatever, but at the end of the 40 yards, like they're almost falling over. So this is like, okay, this is you. It's not smooth you. It's not how you run in pads. It's you overexerting yourself. So if you really did this in a game,
that's what I was saying.
Somebody
they run in bursts. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Some guys just run fast in bursts, and then they're out of breath and they're gassed. It's funny because even it's hard to trust the 40 times because they train for these things now.
She keep looking at the screen, Shorty. So like, yes, I made it.
They train for these 40-yard dashes now. They train for these verticals. They train for the bench presses. So when they're putting up these impressive numbers, that's not just, hey, I woke up, stretched, it was like, let's go. That was, I spent the last several months to a year saying I was going to get this 40 times, so I'm going to get it.
And that to me, that's the thing. Like, even if you train for the 40, you should be able to maintain that speed for the 50. Like, you should at least be like, hey, if I'm training a guy for the 40, I'm going to make him run the 50 just so that when he gets to the 40, he's not, because it's like 2 or 3 of these guys, as soon as they got to the 40, they almost fell over. Like, literally almost tripped up and fell over. I'm like, bro, that means if you really ran all out and you had a ball in your hand, you would probably trip up and fall over, fumble, and whatever safety was chasing you is going to pick up and fuck up and go the other way.
Yeah, no, and that's how it is. You can see it with some of the players when they get in the league, right? They'll break out, and they'll be running down the field, and then you'll see somebody start running them down. They're gassed. They used it all early on. They got nothing left. And it happens more often than people realize. But it's the name of the game, right?
All right, if you got a Devin Bush chasing you, if your stride, if you miss 1 or 2 smooth strides, Devin Bush going to hawk you down. He ran Zay down every time. Every time Zay caught the ball, Devin Bush was running him down like it was nothing. They was on the sideline like, yeah, he had a full head of steam when he started taking off. He had a full head of steam. I had to stop to catch the ball. I'm like, you still had 8 yards lead on him. When you caught the ball and turned to run, and when you caught the ball and turned and run, you was on the 40 and he was on the 32. He caught you by the 54-yard line. Well, by the other 45, he caught you. You should have been up to full speed. That man is just fast.
Well, this is what I talk about when I say we don't have a true speed guy. Right? We don't have an elite speed receiver. Zay only ran a 4.42 in the 40. He only ran a 4.42.
But I mean,
just to put that in perspective. Go ahead.
On the really simple way to put it is, Zay is a 10-yard shuttle guy, not a 40-yard outrun you guy. At least in pass.
Yes. But the problem with that is, and this is what I was about to get to, these linebackers these days are running the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Not even the cornerbacks. The DBs are running it faster. The linebackers are running the same 10-yard shuttle. They're running the same 40 times. Again, I point to Sonny Styles this year runs a 4.47 in a 40-yard dash. Sorry, a 4.37. 4.37? 4.47. And he's 240 pounds. 6'5". Zay's not getting away from this dude. No matter how hard he tries. As of lately, yes. As of lately, cornerbacks are way faster. Again, the average DB time in the draft this year is 4.4 at the combine. Average. That's ridiculous. And the scary thing is, not only are they fast, like me and Ghost were saying earlier, they got good size. They got good wingspan. They're 6 feet tall, 6'1", 6'2". Even the guys that are 5'11" got a 6'3" wingspan.
It's not yellow.
Malik Muhammad runs a 4.46 in his second run, 4.42 in his first run. So, what would it take? What kind of numbers would you need to see to convince you for a wide receiver tomorrow?
As athletic as these cornerbacks are, I'm not even looking at the numbers no more. I have to see what you did on the field to get open when you got open. And if what you did was just outrun people with this new draft class coming out, now outrunning people ain't enough because them DBs is faster than hell. So the DB you might have outran might be a second or third year DB who's not going to be at the combine, so we don't know what his 40 time really is.
Facts.
So if all you did was Randy Moss a guy, run by him, throw your hand up and say throw the ball. Now, if you out jumped him, I'll give you credit for that. But if it was just like, hey, you just got on top of him and outran him, that doesn't do much for me because I'm seeing these cornerbacks who are coming out running this speed, which means the next 5 years, it's going to be cornerbacks coming out of college running the speed. And if all you had was speed, like right now, Tez ain't looking, he ain't looking like a 3-catch, 3-touchdown guy anymore because all these cornerbacks are running Tez's speed.
Mm-hmm.
We got Tez to be that straight up vertical threat. He's not that great at the full route tree, at least not that we've seen because he's had limited play.
Sorry to cut you off. Pride just ran a 4.32. That's fucking ridiculous. Go ahead.
Right. But it's like at that point, it's kind of just like, okay, Tez was okay, we can send him down the seam and blow the top off. Well, the safeties now in this joint, they can see him coming from 15 yards away, get on their horses, and guess what? They're the same speed as him, and some of them are taller than him. So now just running, lining up and running 4 verticals ain't really possible because the linebacker underneath is running a 4.4, and the safety over the top is running a 4.44. Like
safety over top running
7 yards of separation is not going to work.
Just to put this up there, because I see Osmond talking about that 4.28 that got ran today. He put 3, but he meant 4. It was actually a safety. Lorenzo Styles Jr., safety for Ohio State, ran a 4.27, set an NFL record for safeties at the combine in the 40-yard dash. His official time was a 4.27. Lorenzo Styles Jr., Ohio State safety. And this is what I'm talking about. He runs a 4.27. His brother, Sonny Styles, out of Ohio State as well, the linebacker, runs a 4.47. If you're playing a team that has those guys, the 4.27 at safety and the 4.47 at linebacker, you're screwed. You're pretty much screwed.
So Tez ran a 4.36. So a 4.4, 4.5 safety is going to be able to keep him from getting over the top.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, at that point, you running a 4.4 and just outrunning the cornerback who you were lined up against in college, that's not enough for me to draft you anymore. You got to have route tree work. If you don't have route tree work, I don't care what you ran because it's either going to be a gadget play or an end around that I'm going to need to run to spring you to do the same thing. Like you have to have some type of wiggle or you have to be able to throw a cornerback off.
Yeah, as a wide receiver, you gotta have a route tree now. You gotta be able to run routes because outside of that, being able to get this guy to lose his footing or just can't hold you on a route because you cut so sharp. Outside of that, these guys are keeping up no matter what. And Chandler Rivers, another safety, just ran a 4.4. It just gets more outrageous as they go. And these are safeties running today, by the way. These are all safeties. The corners ran yesterday. So
And they're running consistent numbers too. That's the thing. Like they're running consistent numbers.
Consistent. And it looks real bad for offenses. So we got to have these wide receivers come out tomorrow and go absolutely crazy. Again, tomorrow, quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers. I'm interested in seeing if my boy Skylar Bell runs because he's a fast guy. I want to see what number he puts up on the 40 to compare to the defense. And I want to see if it backs up what I saw on tape at UConn. Look at this. He just ran. This dude just outran Lad McConkey and George Pickens. That's outrageous, man.
And that makes those Pickens wide receivers the guys you need to draft. A nasty guy, get into a receiver's chest and throw him out of the play on a running play. And I cannot run him. Don't worry, I'll body him, out rebound him for the ball.
Yeah, exactly. Those big, physical, nasty receivers. Even if they're not big, you got to be physical, nasty, and talented route runner.
And guys like you were saying with Rivers, he ran that 4.4 with full balance. He wasn't overexerting himself at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. At the end of that 40, he was calm. He was calm. He was all right.
Right, he's calm in school. The man had more game than Shaft.
Yeah, he was like, let's do this. On to the next one.
So imagine when he has his adrenaline going and he's really being able to push his max when he has his adrenaline going. What's up, cousin Davon? He has his full adrenaline going. That 4.4 is now 4.3 with full adrenaline and pads.
Yeah, man. I'm excited. I just can't. And I think the excitement is going to continue because every year these guys are getting faster and faster, stronger and stronger, and more scary. And I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. The game's not, don't get me wrong, football is not as physical as it used to be. And unfortunately, guys are getting hurt more now than they used to as far as like torn ACLs and things like that. But to see what some of these freakish athletes can do on the field is like, because you're getting more and more guys nowadays that are just outright freakish athletes that you used to get back in the day. Back in the day, you had a ton of great players. Not all of them were freakish athletes, though. You know what I'm saying? They weren't all running freaky 40 times and crazy, jumping crazy high. But when they got on that field, you couldn't stop them no matter what you did.
Yeah.
So real quick, my boy Obafemi is in the ring. And he's got a match with The Miz. So you know what's about to happen, right? My boy Oba about to put this man in the dirt. Miz said nobody wants this match. We don't have to do this. Please. Please.
Can you think that back when The Miz first came out, you wouldn't have thought it'd be like, dang, in 10 years, he's going to be one of the most seasoned veterans in WWE?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have thought that at all. You're absolutely right.
I think Brock Lesnar was saying that. He was like, I look around, Undertaker's gone, this guy's gone, and now I'm the old guy putting butts in seats. And I'm looking at these young guys like, hey, y'all need to figure out how to put butts in seats.
Well, a lot of these young dudes know how to put butts in seats. It's a matter of the WWE using them correctly. A lot of them got the aura, the swag, they got what they need to get the job done. It's can you write telling stories to keep people intrigued?
What's up, Jared? You know, Jared, I was thinking, right? With the new $22 million that we get, because I think you had covered this. How much cap can we free up by doing a restructure and extension of Lamar? I think Lamar and Marlowe. I could have sworn it was like 40 or 50 million. So technically, we could have $60 million at the end of cap space before free agency, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know what those numbers are gonna be, but like you said, Jared, I think figured it out before.
I could have sworn they were like we could have 40 or 50 million just with Lamar.
Yeah, that sounds about right. When they give
So
the
that would put us
extension.
at $70 million. And we don't go and throw money in free agency like it's a script club. Me and EDC gonna have a problem.
Facts.
Because
That's why I
you
said
could
if
sign-
they do their job, we could be looking at walking into next season with a very stacked roster that is championship ready.
we could take the Chargers guard, we could take Evan Neal, and we could take Magna Simpson all in free agency. And still not have spent $25 million. And now you can focus on you can get you a defensive lineman in the second round, and the other first 3 rounds you could get you them offensive weapons. I mean, he was twerking something. He was twerking heavy too.
Hey, it's going to be a fun off season. Only thing
Well,
I
you
count
also
on
have-
with EDC is that Blank is gone. Yes, that's true. That
Well, what you
negative
also have to
influence
count
is gone.
The bigger thing is
The
the owner
negative
turned and
influence
looked
is gone.
during that press conference and said, if you don't get it, if you don't do your job this year, I'll be replacing you too. He said last year was on the coaches, this year is on you. And he ain't say the next couple years, he said this year is on you. So if this year don't look right as far as Bashadi's concerned, next year we'll be on a new GM.
Well, here's the question I have, right? What is his power this year? Because again, we see they already said Jesse Mitchell reports straight to Bashadi. So what exactly is
he
his
reports
power this year?
He said he can report straight to him, yes, but he said you guys are a team. So the two of you together are a team at making sure that we have, at building this team. Like it's not like with John, it wasn't a team with John. It was get John what he wants. Period. Now it's more like, hey, if your coach is saying he needs 2 offensive linemen in free agency, get him 2 offensive linemen in free agency. And if he says he needs 1 also in the 3rd round of the draft, get him that also. But he's not basically just hamstrung to just what Jesse Minter wants. Because I think even before that, EDC couldn't trade for certain people. Like if EDC was like, hey, I have a chance to get this guy and they want this. If John was like, nah, I'm not giving that guy up or a draft pick, then EDC had to just be like, oh, okay. I feel like EDC looked into a lot of players and he had a deal on the table and he still had to talk to John to see if it was okay with John to make that move. Like when they kept saying, oh, well, we checked into this guy and we checked into this guy. I think that EDC actually called to check into the guy. And then John would be like, well, if you can't get a better deal, then
I think EDC. I said this before. I think EDC went off the books to go trade for Deontay Johnson. And I don't think Harbaugh liked it. And I think that's why DJ was stuck on the bench when he was here.
Well, I mean, they got them off of waiver wire. But even Charlie Garner Johnson, same thing. He's like, Charlie Garner Johnson's on a waiver wire? Bet we're taking him. And then he got here, and John Harbaugh was like, yeah, you're going to play special teams, and you're going to be the fourth safety. So when we run three safety sets, you're probably still not going to see the field. Charlie Garner Johnson was like, nah, y'all need to let me out of here. Yeah, Jesse did say we need the game starts on the offensive and defensive line.
Yeah, that anchor is gone. He's in New York. Let him love it out there. We are finally going to live our lives young, wild, and free. I think the team's going to get younger because I do think they're going to let Kyle Van Noy walk. I think he's a free agent. No point in bringing him back. You know, he's getting older. Let him go enjoy. You know, let him go sit on his couch and enjoy retirement. And I'm gonna keep saying this at least until he has a great season. Again, go ahead and let Derrick Henry go too. Yeah, I said it. I think the missus just looked at me. I was it real quick.
I'm not a big proponent of we absolutely need Derrick Henry. I'm not a big proponent of that. We do need a star level back, but we don't necessarily need Derrick.
So the thing I've had a problem with Derrick Henry, right, is, and don't get me wrong, every running back needs their offensive line to do their job. I need Derrick Henry to be able to break at least one tackle in the backfield. At least one. He has shown the inability to do that. He can't do it. He can't break one. That was one of the things I loved about Saquon. That was one of the things I loved about Josh Jacobs. Those guys were breaking at least one tackle in the backfield and then getting jumping out the window. Now, if we get Devon wants love, he loves his fighting Irish, man. If we get even a patient runner, somebody that runs like Le'Veon Bell, where he lets the blocks develop and then hits the hole and takes off. You know what I'm saying? I'll take that.
I mean, Kenneth Walker did in the Super Bowl, and look how athletic he is.
Yeah, he literally
did. Walked up to the line on one play. He walked up to the line and then was like, "Oh, there's the hole," and just took the hell off.
Yeah, he's a free agent, if I'm not mistaken.
He ain't gonna make it a free agency because there will be a mutiny.
No, Derrick Henry has always been that way. That's why I never understood. That's why I always praised the Titans' offensive line back in the day, because Derrick Henry was never the I'm gonna break a tackle and get going type of guy. He had to pick up speed, then break the tackle and keep going. So he had to get his stride and his weight behind him first. If you caught Derrick 9 times out of 10, he was going down.
It's just like Ryan Clark said. He picks on DBs.
Yes.
Because he has, by the time he sees the DB, he has a full head of steam.
Yeah. And he can even make smaller linebackers look bad.
Right. If I met him in the hole, he's not getting out of the hole. Is he going to go backwards? No, but he's not going to get out of the hole, because if we meet in the hole, he only has 2 yards of his speed going. He doesn't break those tackles. And they're like, Ryan, you see how small you are in the third? Ryan put people in a hospital. Ryan gave people CTE. So
First thing I point to though to defend Ryan in this, and you don't catch me defending Ryan often. Let's not forget Deshaun Elliott put Derrick Henry on his behind 1-on-1, and that was out on the edge where Derrick had some running. He had a little bit of speed on him already. So Ryan Clark could definitely put Derrick Henry on his behind. I think people forget about that. You know?
No, Malik Harrison did it. Malik Harrison literally anytime Malik Harrison wasn't even our starting will linebacker or outside linebacker on the weak side.
Yeah.
And anytime that they put Derrick Henry in the game, they put Malik Harrison in the game.
Because Malik had good speed and he was a great run defender. He had decent speed and was a great run defender. Malik's problem was he was terrible in pass defense. But defending against the run, he can set the edge. He can do anything else you needed as far as hitting. But look, Devon says it right here. I hit her. That's what he did. That was his job. The problem is in Baltimore, we had him as a will linebacker, and we had him out there trying to cover wide receivers and tight ends. And that's not what he do.
Yeah, we left him on his own against Mr. Taylor in Kansas City because he's lost the Kelsey name. He's now Mr. Taylor.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, as far as in the run, Malik Harrison was he was Jodeci. It's a run play. Come and talk to me.
That's what I'm saying. Bro, I remember that game when Deshaun Elliott did him dirty. I just brought that up. And people forget about it. And they just think, oh, King Henry this, King Henry that. And I tell people over and over again, King Henry he's useless if he can't get speed behind him. And I love him. But that's why he started to fumble the way he did, because people realize, okay, if we hit him early, he can't build up speed. Y'all just start jumping on him, and we're gonna get the ball out. And it worked over and over and over and over. It's not gonna change. I think we need to get somebody that's more elusive in the backfield, can break a tackle or two, can find a way to leave a defensive lineman behind him. You know what I'm saying? Rather than being too up there. Now I gotta force my way to fall forward, hopefully for a yard. You know, if you could lose that guy, pick up 2 to 3 yards, 4 yards, that's even better. But a lot of guys can't, and Derrick Henry can't do that. That's not his game. That's not his game. And it's not saying that he's a bad running back. It's just not his style of play.
He's more of a boomer bust running back.
Well, the real counter, if you want to be real, yes, we need to surround him with an elite offensive line. But the real counter to it is the man that snaps the ball every play, Lamar Jackson. If Lamar, being a healthy Lamar Jackson, makes the defense hesitate, even though certain defenses play us differently. Like the Steelers, every time the Steelers play us, TJ Watt is crashing down on Derrick Henry every time. Every single play. Go watch us versus the Steelers. It didn't matter what Lamar did because, and I think Steelers are one of the teams that's got a blueprint against us. The coach says, and this was Tomlin's blueprint. Tomlin said, TJ, crash down on Derrick Henry. Whether he gets the ball or not, crash down, hit him, let him know you're there. And as long as teams do that, you're willing to sacrifice because of the speed you have at that second level down linebacker and the speed you have at safety, these DBs, you're willing to let your D line and your edge rushers crash so that your linebacker now, because Lamar's not outrunning all these linebackers these days. So now your linebacker can get to the edge with Lamar and hold him to just a few yards. So there's a kryptonite to the offense now, but a healthy Lamar where he's running full speed does make a difference. It will make certain players hesitate. But if the coach is saying just crash down no matter what, then there's nothing we can do to help Derek whatsoever. Nothing at all.
Like Henry said about his season, always getting 2,000 yards back to back. It's because Lamar helped him, not he helped Lamar. Derrick Henry said it himself.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. Because Lamar he brings another problem to the defense that you have to solve. And again, like I just said, certain teams the ones that pay attention have figured out how to solve the problem. The Pittsburgh Steelers, you might even be able to throw the Chiefs in there. Definitely the Steelers, though. And the Bills seem to be a problem now, too. But the Steelers, Mike Tomlin, they say it every game. TJ Watt is the one that takes away Derrick Henry. When you take your star pass rusher like TJ Watt, you say on Derrick, he's got the speed to beat Derrick to the edge, too, if Derrick runs the other way. So, crash down on Derrick Henry every play. Okay. So you'll see Lamar pull the ball from the fake, right? And go to take off with it. TJ Watt doesn't then turn around and go after Lamar. He still crashes down on Derrick Henry and hits him. And with Derrick Henry getting older, he feels every one of those hits. And then TJ has the wherewithal to know if someone hit Derrick, but not only is that going to disrupt the backfield when I hit Derrick, I got elite linebackers behind me that's going to come up and pick up Lamar. And again, Lamar, when healthy, he might be able to lose one or two of those guys and pick up the extra yardage. But if he can't, either way, it makes Derrick Henry useless. Whereas if you get a guy, go ahead.
So I need to talk my bullshit real quick.
Go ahead.
Now, Lamar is Jordan in this situation. Absolute Jordan. But his Pippen is not going to be a running back or a wide receiver. Them niggas is going to, the running back wide receiver is going to be Steve Kerr, Tony Kukoc. His Pippen is going to be an offensive line. His Dennis Rodman is going to be a defense that can keep teams under 28 points every game because Lamar doesn't have to be a consistent offense. Lamar can be a 4 or 5 minute drive. Maybe we get a field goal. Maybe we pin him deep with field position, and he's still going to have bursts that are going to get us 3-4 touchdowns a game. So having a Derrick Henry,
I want to go lower in that defensive number if we can. If we can hold teams to 17 points a game, because the offense has struggled to get to that 28. So if you can hold teams to 17 a game, go ahead.
Well, with this new offense, we're supposed to be a little bit more air raid, a little bit more explosive, a little bit more air raid, and we're supposed to be more diverse. So you're really looking at him getting. He can have 3 explosive plays that will put us in field goal position on a 7-play drive, if not get a touchdown, as opposed to us having 15 plays and still kicking a field goal from the 35-yard line. Like it's not like every play every drive we have to have 10 plays, get a field goal. We could have some explosive plays that are at least at minimum. If it don't come out a field goal, we could pin them inside the 20, let our defense make the other offense work hard, and we come out with some explosive plays. So if they can hold every team to 28, now if it can be lower, yes. But if you tell Lamar, hey, just like the Ravens used to do when Shannon Sharp was on the team, he'd go to Marvin Lewis. Hey, Marvin, how many points do I need to tell the offense that they need to score? And Marvin Lewis would say, hey, if you can hold this team to 13, we win this game. And he would go to the office and say, hey, do what we can to not put the defense in jeopardy. Marvin said 2 touchdowns and a field goal. We walk away with this game. We need a defense that's just similar to that. Any team that you think of, because you're not holding Kansas City to under 28 all the time. It's just not going to happen. It's going to happen sometimes, but you can't rely on that. But if you can say, hey, if you tell Lamar, hey, all we need is 28 points, 3 touchdowns and 3 field goals. Out of the 10 drives we might get, 3 touchdowns and 3 field goals is all we need. So you don't need to press, but you do need to do what you do. Offensive line, Tony Kukoc at running back, Steve Kerr at wide receiver. Lamar going to get you 34.
We're hoping Lamar's going to get you 34 because that's where the speed of the defense that we've been talking about comes in. And do we have the offensive players for explosive plays? I'm afraid we don't. As you said, Tez ran a 4.36, and just running slots, just running streaks isn't going to do it. I mean, they're going to have to get fancy with them. They're going to have to get them in the slot. They're going to have to get them, lined up against linebackers, but linebackers these days can run. They're going to have to try to create mismatches with their route combinations.
I don't have this offense looking like the same people at all, by the way. I do have Zay there. I know Tez is there. But I think we bring in people that keep Tez from even being the 3rd wide receiver. I think Tez gets pushed back down to 4th. And DeJohn and Wester is probably our 5th wide receiver. We will be running 4 wide sets. So they're not going to settle for Tez being the 3rd wide receiver. We're going to be running 4 and 5 wide sets sometimes. Declan said he's not running his offense. He's going to be running an offense that is, hey, the Texans had Andre Johnson and Arian Foster. They did this. Hey, when the Vikings had Chris Carter, Hatchett, I believe his name was Hatchett, Chris Carter, Hatchett, and Randy Moss, they did this. He's pulling his inspiration from everywhere. He's doing like a smart coach does. And I will copy whatever the hell will work, and I will add it to my offense, and I will make it work in my way. But inspiration is coming from everywhere. He said he's an artiste when it comes to this offense shit. He don't care where the inspiration come from. He going to draw it up, and he going to sell it for $1 million if he got to. So no, I don't think our wide receiver core looks the same.
I don't think so either. I think we're going to see some massive number of improvements from a lot
with
of
Anthony Weaver. With Anthony Weaver, they're going to learn how to tackle, or they're going to be off the field. Anthony Weaver does not play about tackling.
I think that's facts. I think people are going to laugh at me for this because I said this last year. I think Rashad Bateman puts in a good year this year. This is going to be an offense that's more built for his skill set. Because Rashad Bateman, the thing people loved, and I think they forget this after all these years, I think everybody loved about Rashad Bateman, and everybody wanted Rashad Bateman in the first round that year. And we got him, we were all ecstatic. The thing we loved about Rashad Bateman coming out was his route running and his hands and his ability to run after the catch.
Well, the thing is, Rashad's not going to have that pressure that he had last year. And we're no longer playing, hey, Lamar, make something happen. We're not playing that type of football. We're playing his type of football where I do my job and the ball should be there.
Yes. I think Bay's going to come out and have a pretty good season. Zay, I think Zay stays pretty consistent where he's at. Zay's putting up pretty good seasons.
I think Zay goes up. I think he has more explosive plays now.
So here's the thing. I don't think Zay is the explosive guy on our offense. I think that's where Tez is going to come in. I think Zay's going to catch more of the underneath stuff and that middle of the field stuff. The deep plays have always been Bateman and Tez.
I'm not
and I
saying
think
his
it's going to
game
continue to be that way
at all. What I'm saying
No,
is
I get what you're saying.
he catches that same route, and because Tez has cleared it out, and because Bateman may have cleared it out, he has room to turn up and go. Like our offense last year, it looked almost more like Roman's offense, where a receiver catches it and there's 4 guys next to him, and he doesn't have room to turn up field or go. I think this year Bateman, he runs that deep skinny post, and Tez runs the screen, and next thing you know, you see this crossing route. Zay runs an in crossing route, and the tight end runs an out crossing route against each other. Zay catches that ball, and he can turn up field and has 5 to 7 yards before he's going to be hit by a safety who just peeled off of Tez or a cornerback who just peeled off of Bateman's route to come and try and make the tackle because, whatever happened at the beginning of the route, Zay left the linebacker in chase position.
I'm not a big fan of Jordan Tyson because of his injury history, and I just don't think he's as good as people are hyping him up to be.
I'm hoping we get
I'm not
Romeo
as high on
Dobbs.
Jordan Tyson, and I like Jordan Tyson, but I'm not as high on him as everybody else. I think he's going to be a solid receiver. I just don't think he's going to be that dude. So I agree with what you're saying, right? But what is the problem that we have with Zay? He doesn't turn and go upfield. And as much as
they're gonna talk to him about that one. Trust me, they're going to talk to him about that.
He's like, think about it. Last year, he's like, I'm going upfield, and he still struggled to turn and go upfield. Sometimes,
but
when it's in you,
that's
to do
what
a
I
certain
was
thing,
saying.
That's just how it is.
That's what I was saying with Zay. He caught the ball, and there's 4 guys there.
Not all the
Like
time.
you catch the ball and you're already boxed in. If you tell him, if he sees, I mean, not all the time, but if he sees, hey, I just caught the ball and the cornerback still has his back to me because he's trying to chase Tez, who's running a 4.36.
Yeah, but that's assuming we're going against a zone. Yeah, like I said, with the speed of these DBs these days,
that's assuming
you're gonna run into a lot of man coverage.
Even if you're doing man, if Tez gets on his guy like he gets and closes that gap like he's supposed to do with a 4.36 speed, 10, 12 yards down the field, that running back, that cornerback should be turning and bailing if Tez is doing his job.
Yeah, but that's not gonna matter if the cornerback that's on Zay sticks to Zay like they've been doing. These cornerbacks been on Zay like white on rice. There's one play that comes to mind where Zay got open. And the team was running the zone, and he came across the middle, and he stops. So this freaking linebacker, he didn't even stop. He was running. He catches the ball. It's a linebacker 5 yards over top of him. Instead of just going up the field, he jumps backwards without immediate. There's no immediate danger of getting tackled. He jumps backwards, then goes up the field, and ends up not getting the first down because of it. So those are the things with Zay that I worry about. Can he get that out of his system and just turn and go? I get what you're saying. He needs to, even when he's wide open, he finds a way to go backwards before he goes forward. He needs to get that out of his system. And then
I think they're going to be coaching
DBs. If he's locked up one-on-one, he's just going to be locked up unless his route running is,
I think they're going to be coaching that out of his system as soon as he gets there. When he gets there April 3rd, they're going to be, hey, we see you go backwards, you're doing push-ups. We see you go backwards the second time, you're doing 5 laps around the field. We see you going backwards again, it's just going to be progressive to where he's like, man, fuck this going backwards shit. I'm tired.
So, Clyde, I'll say this. we're gonna keep. I'm gonna keep a close eye on it. I know you'll be watching too. Make sure you watch that combine tomorrow. Check out them wide receivers. Um, for me, the guy I would take if I'm gonna replace Zay or get a Zay like player, and B, you're already know who I'm about to say. Skylar Bell out of UConn because he plays similar to Zay, but he's more physical. Like he'll win a jump ball battle. He'll fight for the ball. He'll get out there and block. And Zay gets out there and block too. Now I ain't gonna take that from Zay. Zay will get out there and block too. But I feel like he does a better job creating separation, and he definitely, as soon as he catches the ball, he gets upfield. And I think that's Zay's one weakness. And I love Zay, man. I love Zay. I love Zay. I don't want anybody here to think I don't like Zay. I love Zay. But I think that's his weakness, is he doesn't know how to turn and just get upfield.
I think Zay, they're going to coach him out of it. And if they don't coach him out of it, they're going to be like, hey, like, it's not winning football. So if that's what you're going to do, it's going to be used against you. When you want to renegotiate, when you want to negotiate your contract, we're going to look at you and say, hey, you see, we studied the tape and you lost 75 yards and you missed 12 first downs because you were at the line and you decided to run backwards trying to juke somebody and didn't make it. Because if you remember, we used to dog Hollywood Brown for that, for trying to go around people and not having the wiggle to do it. He would try to, I'm just going to do this and I'm just going to outrun him to the edge. And he didn't have the wiggle to do that. And though Zay has it, Zay tries to use it too damn much. And he cost us first downs. He cost himself. He's on some Barry Sanders shit where he's costing himself 50 or 60 yards, possibly 100 yards in a year because he's trying to jump back like 5 deuce 4 Trey. You are not an Atlanta rapper.
Yeah. Hey, Osmond, remember, Lamar also requested Hollywood Brown. He got traded away when the time needed to be. That time came, it was like, bye, Hollywood. Lamar requested OBJ. He didn't produce. Bye, OBJ. So it's not going to matter who Lamar requests. It's going to matter if they come out and they do their job. And some of these guys just, again, they're going backwards. Like you say, going backwards. It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
But Lamar also doesn't, he doesn't tell the front office, hey, you have to keep this guy or we have a problem. So, Lamar's benefit of, he's one of them guys where if it don't benefit the team, I'm not going to say much. So if Zay's hurting the team or if Zay wants too much money and, the team's not willing to pay, Lamar might love him, but he's not going to say, hey, pay that man $34 million because I said so. Lamar's very, very judicious about where he'll flex his weight.
Yeah, it's almost as if just to rebuttal this real quick, it's almost as if Zay catches the ball and then jumps backwards to set and look and see what's in front of him and then start running, rather than having an actual instinct to catch and turn.
That's why I said he's used to catching the ball and there being people around him. So he jumps back to be like, what's going on, and assess the situation to try and take off. But he's losing himself when he does that. And I feel like with this newer offense, the goal is going to be, hey, we're going to, Tez, we need you 150% of your speed because Zay's going to be coming across the field and we need it cleared out so that he can create his magic while going vertical instead of having to jump back and figure out what's going on. Because a lot of them times, you do have to remember, those were on scramble drills where Zay is running across the field trying to get Lamar's attention. He don't know who's behind him because he's only looking at Lamar trying to run to his zone where Lamar can get it to. So then he catches the ball. He does that hop spin, just like they do that drill where the guy jumps, turns, and catches it. He does that hop spin to figure out what's going on behind him. And I'll be honest, it looks like he gets spooked sometimes. He gets spooked and he's like, oh, crap, this guy's already right here. And I feel like in the newer offense, it may be one or two guys, but he'll be at least with enough room. He'll be confident. Hey, I could just run around this one guy. I can run left or run right. I don't have to try and jump back. Hope that the trailing tight end, Isaiah Likely or Mark Andrews or Kolar, I jump back and one of them will come and make a block for me, and then I can try and make some moves. I just feel like it'll be more natural for him to be running in one direction, be able to see, turn his head and just see the rest of the field and take off.
Well, the one problem with that theory is, as I said before, he does it even when he's wide open and nobody's around him. It gets pointed out and questioned even by these freaking analysts that halfway pay attention to the games. They see Zay do it when he's wide open. They're like, "What are you doing? Go get the first down."
Well, that's what I said. It's the
just
coach's
what he
job
does.
to as soon as he get in there on April 3rd, hey, jump back if you want to. We'll make you pay with laps or whatever the hell we got to.
You would think
The
so,
coaching
right,
staff
Osmond? Especially with the way Harbaugh was supposedly so tough on guys about things like that.
Harbaugh was only tough on guys that he could pick on. If he couldn't, what was he gonna do? Zay was on his rookie contract. You gonna pay this man anyways? What you gonna do? Cut Zay? You gonna tell him he's not starting?
It's I don't know if you've been watching the combine, and I don't know how much you actually watch college football. It's a deep DB draft this year, so you're gonna get a good DB late in the draft. It's just a matter of knowing which one to get and what time to get them. I don't want to draft a quarterback early, but and as much as people knock me for saying this, the Ravens should have just kept Caillou Blue Kelly. In his first year starting as a cornerback, he got 3 interceptions and was the Raiders, as bad as the Raiders were, he was their top cornerback defender. You could have used that because it's more than Jalen Armour Davis done. It's more than Pepe Williams has done. Those guys have done nothing.
Well, in reference, Reg, in reference, it was John thinking he's smarter than everybody and saying, "Hey, we could cut this guy. He'll clear waivers, and we'll get him back in the practice squad." It was John thinking that he's just too goddamn smart, and he knew what to do. He wanted to keep Caillou, but he thought he could sneak him through the waiver wires, and the rest of the league was like, "No, who do you think you are?"
That's true because he actually did come out and say that in the press conference. With that, he thought he could get him back through the waiver wire, but it comes down to knowing your roster, right? You got to know which guys is going to make it through that waiver and which ones aren't.
And we kept the special team over.
It was John that did that.
Yeah, I think about it. John kept special teamers over Caillou Blue Kelly.
And that was the problem. He kept guys to go make tackle on special teams rather than guys that's going to step out here and actually play defense and put their body on the line on defense. I mean, really think about that. He extra linebackers. We had like 4 linebackers that year. 2 of them he kept 2 extra. No, it was 5 linebackers. 2 he kept for special teams.
That's why I said this new regime is going to take the best players and whoever makes the team, and they say, "Hey, this guy's going to be a special team guy." They're just going to teach them to play special teams. We're not keeping guys just for special teams, besides kickers and punters and long snappers. But outside of kicker, punter, and long snapper, everybody else has to fight for their job on the main roster, and you'll be relegated to special teams if you're, the 5th or 6th cornerback. If you're, the 5th or 6th wide receiver.
Bud Clark just ran a 4.48. Yeah, these guys has got a lot of these offenses has got a lot they're gonna have to work around to be able to match what these defenses are gonna have athletically. Brains are gonna come
I mean,
into huh?
it's really just that now your offensive coordinator is really going to matter.
Yes, to say the least.
Like you can't just line up and out athlete everybody. Lamar can't just out athlete the entire team anymore because now the corners are running averaging a 4-4. You know, they take the right
Yeah,
pursuit angles. It's a problem.
yeah, and again,
That's why I
if you
say he's
got
watching the
so
combine.
so, eh, yeah, the combine, man, it's been freakish. The combine has been freakish for the defense. They've been blowing my mind since they started. So just getting into the combine, getting further into that, right? I wanted to look at I'm trying to remember what player it was. I was looking at Sunny Styles official time. I've been saying 447. It's a 446, by the way. So I have to apologize. Um, who was it? I can't find who I was looking for. Abel Reese. Here we go. Abel Reese out of Ohio State. Another Ohio State guy. We've been talking about crazy fast. Crazy fast. Abel Reese, another Ohio State guy, right? We've been talking about rebuilding the trenches and you know, protecting Lamar. What do you do when you got an edge that's running? Let me just hold on, let me go look at this again just to be sure. When you got an edge linebacker, a pass rusher, running a 4.46, and I'm talking about he's got move, swim move, and all that. He can use speed to power to get past tackles. I think now is more important than ever to go with. I want to say go with young offensive linemen, right? But you got to go with veterans on the inside so that you can. They have the intelligence to help each other. And Clyde, here's one of those South Carolina DBs, Jalen Kilgore, 4.42 today. By the way, now more than ever, we need to protect the Ferrari.
At 50,
But do we do it? I want to do it in free agency, like I said, sign top guys, and then go out and get us some star players.
I want
But
everywhere.
is maybe being able to call certain plays gonna be one of the ways they protect Lamar this year? Maybe calling those screen passes, you know, some successful screen plays, some successful option plays, you know, some successful trick plays. And maybe that's gonna be the way you protect Lamar this year.
It's got to be play calling. It's got to be getting veterans that can actually play right now in free agency. We can get 3 of them for 24 to 26 million. We could get 70 million in cap space. Do it. We could get defensive linemen later in the draft, and we can still get an offensive guard or offensive lineman in the draft as well. Like you can fix now stuff in free agency. You'll have the money to do it if you want. If you want to make, you know, go ahead, pay. If Lamar wants a guaranteed contract, go ahead. Because Deshaun Watson had a guaranteed contract, and every year of his guaranteed contract, Cleveland moved the money around in his contract to generate $50 million more of cap space. So we could do why not? Why can't we do the same thing? So resign, restructure who you need to. We can have $75 million of cap space. 3 linemen, spend $25 million to have that offensive line where it should be. And then draft guys to come up behind those offensive linemen and grow. Play calling, line help. If we ain't doing both, there ain't no point. Why is this guy running with these big ass earrings in his ear?
Well, usually he's only using Cleveland as a selling point as far as moving money around, their ability to move money around, because they somehow signed that outrageous deal for
They just kept generating cap space
Watson
somehow.
and
because
kept
of that
getting
deal.
enough money to get whatever running back they needed, whatever wide receiver they needed, re-signing their defensive talent and restacking the roster. So they're good. They're a good selling point for how you manipulate the cap. An even better one is the Philadelphia Eagles or the Rams.
So
Rams
the
continue to
reason
stack talent.
the reason that I picked Cleveland is because they gave him all that guaranteed money, and the way that they structured the contract, basically every year they could convert a lot of that money to signing bonus or incentives, and it would free up $52 million a year every single year. His contract is like they treated his contract like we did Marlowe's. They signed him for 5-6 years. The second year of that contract, you can start restructuring it to get money back every single year. And since they had paid him so much, they could really manipulate the cap and go and get what they wanted. That whole offensive line that they built, literally, they built that off of 1 year restructuring him for $52 million to save $52 million.
I just want to point out we had another 4-3-2 from Robert Spears Jennings, Oklahoma. These DBs are running as if their lives depended on it.
Like even right now,
like he looked good after the 40. Like he ran it and it was like, yeah, I'm Gucci. I'm Gucci.
Right. So like right now, because we signed Lamar 2 years ago, we can, if Lamar doesn't want to do an extension, which would relieve cap space, they can restructure his deal to give him money up front to relieve that same cap space. But you can't do that when you keep signing a guy to extensions every 2 years. Man, y'all lucky I wasn't like 6'2", 6'3", because I damn sure would have been in the NFL.
Hey yo, listen. I've had this conversation about my former athleticism. All right. I could have been a running back in the league. Why are you always hating?
I'd have been a 330-something pound offensive lineman. When it comes to blocking technique, my shit is always on point.
You know, I was running fast and leaping through the roof back then. I told my lady earlier, man, I ran a 4.24 to 40-yard dash.
I just
right now,
people up.
Right now, I can go run a 4.2 and a 40-yard dash again. But it'd be 4 hours and 20 minutes. That's all I'm saying. Now, you know, it was seconds back then. Now it's hours, but still, I'll get it done.
I mean, I could probably give you 40 seconds. 40, 40, you know.
Nah, I'll take the 4 hours. I need to stop for breaks in between. But listen, I was gonna try to push this all the way through to the end of SmackDown, but I think I'm gonna check out early tonight. And
oh shit, Mr. Joseph Townsend.
Mr. Townsend in the building. Salute. Another gator out in these
Old
streets.
Hill. Hey, a representative of Old Hillside Bourbon, by the way, which and probably next week when I get paid, I need to order me that Tri-Blend bottle that he was showing off. It looked like some good bourbon. Black owned too.
See, I don't drink no more. But yeah, we got to tune out of here a little early tonight. Normally, I would try to push the SmackDown to the end of SmackDown, but I think I want to chill out and watch the end of SmackDown tonight with my feet up. You know what I'm saying? And I think you can get the 40 in under a minute. It's gonna take me 4 hours. I think you can get it under a minute though. It's gonna take me 4 hours. I gotta stop for breaks in between. And then I at least know every 3 to 5 yards, I could possibly tear my hamstring or my ACL. And then there's the PCL, the LCL, the meniscus, and the Achilles. At some point, I may end up passing the line to end the 40 in a wheelchair. Just saying.
I'd have to wait for my Uber Eats to get there.
You can walk it under a minute. If we walk it in 40, if we walking it instead of running it, y'all don't want none of me if we walking. All right. I can walk at a very fast pace for at least 7 steps before I need a breather and an oxygen mask and some support. You might want to have 911 on tap just in case. But with that being said, make sure y'all hit that like button, share, subscribe. Oh, and for those who don't know, check the description. Your boy did reopen the store. We got some fire merch in there. Go check it out. All right, go check it out. Take a look. See if you like it. See if you like it. But until next time, Mr. Ghost, you want to tell them where they can find you at, sir?
A6 Ghost on YouTube, a6ghost.com, and eventually I'll remember my Twitter page.
Hey, so I was lucky enough to be a small, fast dude back in the day. Just to answer this, all right. I ran when I was in high school, middle school and early high school. So yeah, my freshman year, ran a 4.24 in the 40.
If I'm correct,
I had some athleticism when I was younger. Now,
if I'm
like
correct,
I said, I can run it in 4 hours. Go ahead.
Was Mr. Townsend? I think was a D lineman, I believe, in college, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I believe so. So that's elite times you're looking at right there. As for me, you can find me here on YouTube, right here, chilling on this channel. And I promise you, one day I'm gonna get more social media. I swear, I will. I mean, I got a Facebook account, but I don't really use it. But yeah, I got Twitter too, but I don't really use that either. Or X, sorry, X. But y'all stay blessed, stay safe, have a peaceful evening. Thank you for coming through. We love y'all. We'll catch you next time. Peace.